Tonight, you're going to eat something that hurts you on purpose. You'll pour it on your eggs, you'll dip your wings in it, you'll pass the bottle around the table and laugh when someone's eyes water. It's normal. It's dinner. Nothing strange about it at all. But here's the thing, your body doesn't think it's dinner. Right now, somewhere in your mouth, a tiny alarm is going off. It's screaming that you are on fire. Your lips are not on fire. Your tongue is not on fire. Nothing is burning at all. And yet your brain is convinced otherwise. Most people assume they just got used to the heat, that they built up a tolerance like a callus. Simple, obvious. That's not quite what's happening. Scientists have a name for what you're actually doing to yourself. They call it benign masochism. And once you understand it, you'll never look at a hot sauce bottle the same way again. Stay till the end because the last part of this story is about something much bigger than food. It's about why you seek out fear, danger, and pain on purpose your entire life. Let's start with the trick your body is falling for. Inside a chili pepper is a molecule called capsaicin. It has one job. It binds to a receptor on your nerve endings called TRPV1. TRPV1 exists for a very good reason. It's your body's early warning system for heat. It's the thing that makes you yank your hand off a hot stove before you even think about it. It's built to switch on when something touches roughly 109 degrees Fahrenheit. Real, dangerous heat. But capsaicin doesn't need heat at all. It just walks up to that same receptor and flips the switch by hand. Your nerve fires. Your brain gets the exact same signal it would get from a lit match, so what do? You sweat. Your face turns red, your eyes water, your heart rate climbs. Your entire body launches a full defense response against a threat that was never there. That's the part almost nobody knows. Spicy isn't a flavor. There's no spicy taste bud sitting next to sweet and salty and sour. Spicy is pain. Manufactured, fake, but completely convincing pain. So here's the real question. Why would any animal on Earth evolve to enjoy that? Because here's the twist, almost none of them do. Scientists have tested this. Rats avoid capsaicin. Dogs avoid it. Most mammals taste one bite of chili and never come back for more. You're the exception. Humans are, as far as we know, the only species that goes looking for a food specifically because it hurts. Psychologist Paul Rosen spent years studying this exact puzzle at the University of Pennsylvania. He watched people choose pain on purpose again and again, and he needed a word for it. He landed on benign masochism. Masochism because you're chasing a sensation your body registers as harm. Benign because deep down, some part of your brain knows you're actually safe. Rosen put it simply, your body thinks you're in danger, but you know you're not. And that gap between what your body believes and what your mind knows is where the thrill lives. Think about the last time you rode a roller coaster. Your stomach drops, your pulse spikes. Every instinct says something has gone wrong. But you booked a ticket for that feeling. You stood in line for it. A hot pepper is doing the exact same thing to your nervous system, just through your mouth instead of your inner ear. So how does a food that tastes like an emergency ever become a food you crave? It starts almost every time in childhood. Researchers have found that the single strongest predictor of loving spice as an adult is simple. You were exposed to it early and often. Somewhere along the way, you ate that pepper enough times in a room that felt safe, surrounded by people who weren't panicking, and your brain started rewriting the meaning of the signal. The pain stopped meaning emergency. It started meaning thrill. And your body backs that story up with real chemistry. Once the pain signal fires, your brain doesn't just sit there and suffer. It fights back. It floods your system with endorphins, your body's own natural painkillers, the same class of chemicals behind a runner's high. So for a few minutes, you get a wave of relief chemicals, released to fight a threat that doesn't exist. That's not imagination. That's measurable brain chemistry, running a rescue mission for a fire that was never real. No wonder it can feel almost euphoric. But it doesn't stop there. Keep eating spicy food regularly and your actual receptors start to change. Calcium flows through those TRPV1 channels every time capsaicin hits them, and that flow slowly turns the volume down on the receptor itself. There's a fast version of this happening within seconds of one bite, and there's a slow version building over weeks of steady exposure. That's why a level of heat that once made a beginner cry can taste almost mild to someone who eats chili every single day. Their receptors aren't broken, they've been trained. So who actually chases this the hardest? It turns out not everyone is wired the same way. Studies have found that people who love spicy food also tend to love other things that start out unpleasant and flip into fun. Roller coasters, gambling, strong black coffee, ice-cold plunges. People on the other end, the ones who steer clear of spice, tend to score higher on something researchers call disgust sensitivity, and on a fear of trying new foods altogether. And it isn't only upbringing. A study of adult twins in Finland found that genetics explain a striking chunk of the difference in how pleasant people find spicy food, somewhere between roughly 18 and 58%. In other words, part of this was decided before you ever took your first bite of anything. Now, here's where the story gets even stranger. Because chili peppers didn't evolve to feel good to you at all. Every chili pepper on Earth can trace its roots back to the Americas, and capsaicin was never built as a gift. It was built as a weapon. The plant needed a way to stop mammals from chewing up its seeds before they could spread. Capsaicin was the deterrent. Pain, engineered by evolution to make you leave the plant alone. But there was one loophole. Birds don't have the receptor that reads capsaicin as heat. So birds could eat the fruit, fly for miles, and spread the seeds unharmed, while every mammal that took a bite regretted it instantly. The plant wasn't trying to please you. It built a warning sign. And somehow humans are the one species on Earth that looked at that warning sign and decided to eat it anyway, on purpose, over and over, for thousands of years, until we started growing entire fields of it. So why? Some researchers think there's a deeper, older reason woven into all of this. In hot climates before refrigeration existed, food spoiled fast and dangerous bacteria could hide in it. Capsaicin has real antimicrobial properties. It can slow down the exact pathogens that make food dangerous to eat. So communities in hot regions that reached for chili peppers may have been protecting themselves without ever knowing why. Over generations, a taste for the burn may have quietly become an advantage. Pain, that also happened to be protection. So let's pull all of this together. A molecule evolved by a plant as a warning. A receptor in your body. A receptor in your body built to protect you from real fire. A brain that learned over years of childhood exposure to reinterpret that warning as a reward. A flood of your own natural painkillers released every time you take the bait. None of that sounds like something you'd choose, and yet you do choose it every time you reach for the hot sauce. Because underneath the pepper and the pain and the sweat on your forehead, this was never really about food at all. It's about the fact that you are a creature that seeks out danger on purpose whenever you know deep down that you're actually safe. The roller coaster, the horror movie, the cold plunge, the extra spoonful of the hottest sauce on the table just to see if you can take it. Your body doesn't know the difference between real danger and the safe kind you go looking for. It only knows how to sound the alarm. What you do with that alarm, that's entirely up to you. So the next time your eyes water over a plate of food, ask yourself the real question. Are you eating dinner? Or are you doing the exact same thing as everyone in line for the roller coaster? Chasing a fear you already know is fake.